Hey, I'm Chris. Welcome back for another Truck Talk. Today's August the 29th. If you're keeping track on numbers, you might like some of these. We're 225 days into the construction process. About 50 days left. Don't want to spoil any opening dates because we haven't picked one yet. But 50 days plus or minus 10 days is looking like a really good time to get this golf course back in your hands. We're right at 700 days since we started this project, if you can believe that or not. 2 years ago, I started working on planning this, all the pre-development, the construction documents, working with the architects, all that stuff. So it's been a 2-year labor of love at this point, 698 days, not that anybody's counting, on that total project. So, and I'm very excited to say that right now we are about 99% done with construction activities out here. A little bit of work left to do, mostly punch out work on every hole. Punch out work entails the things that Dunick is doing on their dime, not ours by the way, to make sure this project delivers on what the expectation was. So that's things around drains. If the water's not draining in the right spot, they come back, get those fixed. Any of those kind of things that were involved that should have been done, that's kind of punch out work. An irrigation head settles a little bit, they come back and get that right. So Bill Bergen, our team have been going through making a big long punch out list to make sure we get everything done exactly the way it was expected, and that's part of where we are right now. But 99% done, complete with this project. We're very excited, personally very excited to be at that stage. We've turned most of this over to Tyson and the agronomy team for grow-in, and they're looking very good. I think you've got the best agronomy team east of the Mississippi in my opinion, and they are doing their job out here. It looks fantastic. Can't wait for you all to see it. It's probably, I would say, about 85% growing in at this point. We've got some of the fairways on the back are still working their way in. Just definitely 13 through 18 are kind of the last ones to be planted, but they're looking really good. We got plenty of time. They're going to be great. We'll show you those when we get out there. But that's where we are. So working on punch out work. And then the other thing we're working on is storm repair. You might see a little bit of sod in the background here. We've made our initial sweep through the entire golf course, fixing some of the worst storm repair damage that we had. Front side, that ties back to the early July rains. On the back side, that ties back to the 20 inches of rain we've had since August the 1st. So we've been getting hammered. The course has taken it pretty well, but it certainly is going to show some marks here in some of these areas. So we're doing our best to get those sodded and repaired. And speaking of that, on budget-wise, if anybody wants to know about that side of it, our goal was on time, on budget. Time's looking really good, budget's looking really good. Honestly, even despite all of this, we're going to be right on budget with all the work, with the sod repair work. And the project itself finished right on budget, actually about $50,000 under budget. And so now we're using some of that extra funding we had for this sod repair, trying to keep it as close to budget as we can. But ultimately, we want to make sure this golf course is in great shape when you open. So, you know, we might go over a few $1,000s on a $5 million project to make sure we have the right product for you, our members, when this thing opens. So excited to show you all this today. I'm going to stop talking in this spot. Let's get out there on the golf course and go show you what's going on. Here's a great example of that punch out work. A couple of our wonderful teammates from Dunick here working on making sure these irrigation heads along the third green are perfectly level. All right, and for our first stop on the front, we're here on number 6. Here's a great example of some of that punch out work. This is some work around a couple of the drains where there was just kind of a little bit of a bird bath. Some of it may have been from the storm, some of it may have been from the final grade, but either way, our partners here at Dunick are committed to making sure that everything functions as it should, and they're out here doing this punch out work around the drains. All right, here we are on number 7. This is a great example of the sod repair areas that we had done previously. So this was sodded a couple weeks ago. This was all from the damage. Well, I guess it had a little damage from both times, but mostly from the damage in July on the front side. The back side got the damage in August. But you can see here where these areas have been sodded. They're a little scalpy because we're working that height down to fairway height and mowing them with everything else. But you can also notice a couple areas here that are not done, like this area. So we've gone all the way through the course fixing the worst of the washout areas from the storm damage, and now we're circling back through and making a second pass, picking up anything that, you know, we were optimistic might grow in, but maybe it didn't make as much progress as we had hoped. So we'll pick those up this second time around. Another sod repair spot here on number 8. You can see pretty extensive damage done coming down to this drain in the fairway. So all this is going to look great when we open up. I know it's a little scalpy now, but trust me, it's going to be fine. In the sidebar here, I'm going to throw up what this used to look like. So you can see how far we've come here. I mean, this was a disaster after the rains and certainly improved now. So you can see this is a great example of what we're trying to do repair in these areas from the storm damage. And another one of our to-dos before we reopen is cart path repair. We're here on number 10 going to number 11. This is a great example of pine tree meets concrete equals broken path. So we didn't do any repair on Oakridge in 2024. We normally do about 75 panels per year per golf course. So Oakridge has a double allotment this year, and it's a great time to do it with the golf course closed. So Matt Strickland, who heads our grounds department, and Adam Hett, who's our project superintendent for our special projects department, this is kind of his wheelhouse. Adam is a whiz with concrete. These guys are doing a fantastic job on getting these things repaired. We've completed the front side cart path repairs with a few exceptions, and now we're moving on to the back. So we expect to have all that buttoned up in the next 2 weeks and have it looking great prior to opening. All right, and here we are in 18. I want to finish off on a high note. I've been telling you all the things we're having to repair, from cart paths to sod and all of that, but the golf course is looking great. This is the 18th hole. It's about 4 weeks since we planted these fairways. They're already grown in. You know, we usually say 8 to 12 weeks on a grow in, and certainly they're not 100% yet, but for 4 weeks, they're looking fantastic despite the rains and all the other things we've dealt with. So we're really excited. Great design. We think you're gonna love it. Can't wait for you to see it. Thanks for your time today, and we'll do another one of these soon.